What is going on, guys? It's Ben from the Parker Brothers and welcome back to another fishing video. Today you join me down a water and something a little bit different. The actual fishery, for the courtesy of the fishery should I say, do not want me naming where this particular lake is. So myself and Nick, I'm up here with Nick by the way, we've called it the lake with no name. So we're going to call it the lake with no name, and that is where we are today. So I'm expecting big things. There is some good ones in it. I'm here for the next 48 hours, never ever fished here before. Something completely different. This is a day ticket water, so you pay for an advance, you turn up, etc, etc. I've got a gentleman opposite me, I've got a gentleman over to my right. So I'm here with Nick. I'm going to touch on bait, I'm going to touch on the reasons why we've put our rigs particularly where we have. The rigs as a general and obviously our baiting approach. First thing I don't want to come, turn up, look around the lake, and I'm not immediately found fish, but I found fish after about 25 minutes of looking. There's a lovely little gnarly little corner, and there's this, like, they definitely feel safe in them snags to say the least, because I've gone over there and I've seen this common with little white tips on the back of it, sort of pull off the spot. I love a smaller mirror and a couple of other things, excuse me, that's my phone. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Rods are out. I'm absolutely knackered. It's been manic at Parker Baits HQ over the duration of the last 2 weeks, and as from Sunday, it's Thursday today, as from Sunday I'm back. So I've got 48 hours here, come off Saturday, leave Saturday morning, head home, and then Sunday morning I'm back out again. I'm at Burners for 7 nights of tea, and I cannot wait, and that will be coming to the channel. I'm probably going to do that in 2 parts, Burners, because that lake to me is everything, and the chance of catching a 40 pounder is very, very high, being that I've been there twice, done 4 sessions up there now, and 2 of the sessions I had 40 sessions, so it can happen, does happen, and hopefully it will happen up there going into the next couple of weeks. But again, that will be coming to the channel off subject. But yeah, that's who I'm with. So I'm with Nick. I'm here for the next 48 hours. Obviously I'm armed with Parker Baits. If you haven't seen me before, guys, my name's Ben. We upload every Sunday 7:30 to the Parker Brothers YouTube channel. We do a live premiere. We've done in excess of 300 people before, so it's absolutely brilliant. Everybody gets involved. There's some banter thrown in the mix. Also, the people that are in the video sometimes, or a lot of the time, are in that live chat as well, so you can have a chat with them. It's just good, just good, and a good way to enjoy the video together. So if you are free on a Sunday 7:30, make sure you tune in. So that's where I am, that's what I'm doing, and that is who I am with, guys. The lake with no name. 48 hours, here we go. Come on the rhinoceros. And just before I start this video, guys, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward. And hopefully myself and Nick can bring you an absolute banger. I'll see you in a bit. Right, well. Nick's holding the camera behind me. It didn't take long. It was so funny. He was like, why'd you have your tips up, Ben? And we both, well, he knows why I've got my tips up, but we both do it. We always get questioned on it, right, at lakes, why you got your tips up? When you're fishing backledge, you're actually fishing, you're still uniform, but you've got that factor of when the rod goes, it nearly pulls your rod in. Anyway, as I've said that, I goes, the middle rod pulls down, I goes to it, like that. So I'm hooked into something now, and it feels alright. It's giving me a good old beat up across the lake, but hopefully I can get it in. Yeah, cheers, brother. I'll put it in there. It's all good. I've got it. Okay, mate. You reel that in, please. That was that mirror I saw. Definitely. Come on. Get in there. Yes. Right, he's just giving me a little bit of a soak in this one. But first one for me, it didn't take long. Rods must have been out an hour, if that, something like that. Obviously I'm pretty sure I saw this fish down there feeding. It was this one, a common, and there was another one. It was a darker one. I don't know whether it was a common or a mirror. The other one, there was 3 of them. I'm pretty sure this is the one I saw. But it's got to be just under that 20 pound mark. But what a lovely way to start at a new lake and a new venue, and obviously to beat the blank. That goes about saying. So happy with that. That was on the Parker Baits. That was on a little 12mm pinky, washed out pink. Obviously with fruit and nut crumb round it, and again I'm sure I'll touch more on that over the next day. So there it is, first one for me. Let's get this one back. Happy days. So a nice bit of early action there, really happy with that. It's now 2:30 at the moment, 2:30. Just left 2 rods out, a lot of line pressure in the water at the moment. everybody seems to have 3 rods out, and you are in quite tight proximity here as well. So happy I've had one, and like I said earlier, from a new venue, you can never grumble with that, and it was a nice looking one as well. I'll give it to him as that. But what I've done is I've punched my right hand rod off the island, lovely and tight, kept casting it till, and just adding a little bit more on until I was happy with it. Then obviously added that bag on, a little bit of foam on the hook, same bait, and then punched it out there, and it's went out there lovely. So fingers crossed that does me a bite. But now to chill out, digest what's going on out there, and sort of see, lock onto the water, and react to anything necessary, if you like. But I do need to try and get some sleep somewhere today, because I am absolutely knackered, like I keep saying to you. But I'm going to leave it at that, and we got some foodie bits coming this evening. I'm quite looking forward to. It's going to be Nick Ramsey tonight on the Parker Brothers YouTube channel, and he's went out of his way and he's made some lovely bits and bobs. So like I said, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure we'll capture that via the video later to show you guys. So that's the update for now. I'll see you in a bit. Right, wow, it's real time, guys. Real as it gets, really. 21 minutes past 5. It's looking lovely out there at the moment. Beautiful colour in the trees and everything. Lovely to see in the summer months. I'm really gonna miss all this over the next couple of months when everything starts dropping. I know it's a part of nature, but I really do like the summer. But then obviously the winter's got a massive place in my heart, as it is every single time. That's when everything becomes quieter. You can get in them pegs, especially on the day tickets that I fish, and there's nobody fishing really. The fair weathered anglers go away. So that is that. So I'm up now, and I'm going to redo my rods. Plan of action is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo my right rod against the island. I'm not going to have it so tight. I mean, last time it was quite tight. So being that that's been there for sort of maybe 2.5 hours now, I'm going to pull that back off. And it's also, when I was using the catapult, it was dropping slightly short, so that would be sort of sensible to do that. Earlier, which I didn't get any video of, I've lined up, I've looked the other side of the bank, and there's a break in these reeds, and it's probably about maybe 2 foot wide. So what I've done is I've got the pole, I've went out, I had about 10 kilo of chops on me, just all in fruit and nut, loads of chops. I've literally just putting them in with a scoop, taking it out. I think it's 9 pole lengths, something like that, and sort of like shaking it, so it puts that lovely, I've spoken about this before on the channel, I love using the pole, but if you sort of go out, do one bit, do the first sort of 2 inches, and if you flick the pole, it sort of throws it around, it gives you a lovely sort of presentation on the bottom. So what I've done is I've repeated the process. I've done that 3, 4, 5 times, not put a rod on it, but that was sort of just before I got some sleep, so an hour ago, something like that, maybe an hour and a half ago. So I've went out, done that. So my plan of action is my middle rod, I am going to put one on that tonight. Over in front of me, a gentleman's here, so I can't fish my original spot, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back, and again, I've been feeding it from day that I've been here, which is like a house, or sort of right, it's almost like not a house, a cabin, and it's just to the left of me. I'm sure I'll touch base with you and show you this, and there's a little overhanging tree, and what I've done is I've put getting little handfuls, not enough to compress the chops, but enough that when it hits the water it sort of just pulls out a little bit and then drops down, pulls out a little bit and then drops down. So I've done that again several times over there, and I've been sort of going up throughout the duration of the day. When we first got here, over the duration of probably 4 hours of just like trickling little bits in. So again, I'm going to keep a rod on that tonight. So that is my 3 rods. I might get a footage of a couple of them going out, guys, in a second, and then I'm sure we're going to have some food in the next hour or so. We're getting a little bit hungry. We had a roll for lunch and some crisps. I didn't record that, guys, but yeah, that's my plan of action now. I'm going to sit back, take my time with this now and get this right. I'm probably going to start from a right hand rod, the one I'm going to cast to the island, take my time, hit clip, get a proper donk, so I know I'm presentated. I can leave them rods all night in confidence, sat behind them and know that I'm fishing, and if the fish don't move over the spot, they don't move over the spot, but I'm not sat there thinking I am not fishing. And that's something that, especially people that don't get on the bank very often, it is imperative that you're fishing without fail every time, even if the fish ain't in front of you. At least you know you're fishing. That's a big one for me. So I'm going to zip up now. Oh, there's a lovely kingfisher that keeps all day. He's in front of us now. He's so quick, and my camera's not the best camera in the world to get real quick zoomed up intimate footage. But it's just unbelievable. It keeps driving. Two of them out here, me and Nick, so absolutely beautiful. That's what it's all about to me, sort of taking all the nature around you as well. So time for me to shut up and actually get my rods out and well, sort of redo two of my rods and get my other rod out. Obviously mentioned earlier I brought in one of the rods, and that is the pound of action. So I'll probably touch base with you in a bit. Hey, don't they look sexy? So there it is. I've got one rod out over here, just off the island where my pole was, where I mentioned, and then over to my left, just down underneath that tree, I've just dropped it with Nick's boat. Now we've just got a little boat, and I'm sure we'll touch on that. Nick's rods are over there, and again I'm sure if he has anything throughout the night we'll show you what he's had it on and where he's had it from. So fingers crossed, time for food very soon. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. Right, wow, Nick has come up with the goods this evening, and look at this. We've got some garlic bread. We're going to put some cheese on it in a second, so that's going to go in there like that. Looks absolutely lovely, except for the way I'm doing that isn't very good, is it? I'll flip that bad boy over, put that on there like that, and then he's made some chili pizzas, so that's going to be interesting. Lovely jubbly. With a view, I'll let you know what it looks like.
Mild chili dip.
What you got there? I like how it says mild on it, because this bloke ain't mild. Definitely give that a go, mate. Looks nice. Happy days. These are coming along lovely.
Nice smell, isn't it?
Yeah, they smell beautiful.
I might actually nick that after you.
Look at them. Yeah, no problem, mate. You take the Ridge Monkey on steroids, thanks to my mate Ricky, and I'm using your cooker, mate, because my other one busted, so thanks very much. But yeah, look at that. Absolutely lovely. I think we're about done there. Brings over a cheese grater. Look at this. Anyone want some extra cheese? Yeah, no problem. Bear with me and I'll just put this on and I'll show you in a second. Woohoo! Look at that. Grated cheese and all. Put that down on that. Put that down on that. And I should probably do a tactical flip now while I've got my mate Nick here to give me a hand. Oh, 1, 2. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. Happy days. Cheers, mate.
No probs.
So Nick's over there sorting his now. I've got a match made in heaven here. Chili jam in there, look. Garlic bread with a view. Sorry about the tripod. Am I signing myself up for here? And I was looking in the tin earlier and I saw that. I know what Nick's like. I'm going to be hopefully not sore in the morning. But yeah, time to cook the pizza, and the rain, you can just see this mist sort of coming in across the lake, but I reckon it's going to absolutely smash it down this evening. Well, it is, because it said on the forecast. So
hey, do you want to put that toilet paper in the fridge? You heard that in the background. See, I'm guessing that this is something special and something hot, so yeah, looking forward to it. Well, there it is, and look at that, absolutely beautiful. It's cooked it perfect, and what Nick done is there, he made his own pizzas, and you'd add bits on, part cook them, bring them part cooked, chuck them on a Ridge Monkey, do a little bit, a couple of minutes each side, and that's what you get. I tell you what, that's really lovely and warm. It's cooked all the inside nice, the cheese is starting to melt inside. Lovely jubbly. Definitely something you need to try on the bank, guys, if you haven't done that. And I might have to get your next recipe for the strawberry, not for the strawberry jam, for the chili jam as well. Lovely. So we just packed up everything, and the rain is definitely coming in. So time to sit back now, and hopefully that makes the fish drop down, or sort of turns on a feed. Oh my God, what's he brung in now? What you brung? Not a Shaun the Chef. Oh, Shaun the Chef. Oh mate, look at that. One of the Dream Scotch eggs. Lovely jubbly. What we can do? Share one? No mate, it's yours.
Jesus. I'm going to turn into a Nosser pig, I think. Cheers Nick, and cheers Shaun the Chef. You have
having a laugh. Sat there minding my own business. Boom, a pheasant. Look at him. You alright there, mate? You alright there, geese? Yeah, you heard me that time, didn't you? Definitely something different to the channel. Well, good morning guys. It is now coming up to 8 o'clock and sorry the video's jumped, but last night I sort of sat there. I know I mentioned you I was tired anyway, but I sort of sat there between 8 and about 11 looking out. But there was heavy rain, trying to listen through the thumping on the top of the bivvy. In the end I fell asleep. A few knocks, probably between 1 and 2. A middle rod, I got 2 single beeps on, sort of looked out, put the torch on him, bobbing hadn't even moved. And about an hour after that, left hand rod, similar sort of scenario. Further then fell asleep and then woke up about 6 o'clock. Had a look down my margin quickly, went to the toilet, had a look out for sort of maybe 20 minutes, went back to sleep. And then I was greeted by a coffee about just after 7, around 7. Nick he's got a latte for me, so I've been drinking that ever since. Here she is, thoroughly enjoying that. But yeah, it's been a nice camping trip so far through the night, to say the least. Haven't heard nobody else's alarm. I know the mateys, I said to Nick, did you hear mate? He said he had 1 beep last night, the one to my left. I haven't heard anything to my right because I'm pretty sure that mateys' alarms are quite loud. We heard them in the day loud and clear yesterday, so I think I would have heard them. And I haven't heard, there's one other guy sort of fishing the opposite side of the island in front of me, over to the right. I don't think he's had anything either. So yeah, next couple of hours I'm going to slowly sort of wake up. I know Nick's redoing his rod, but it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to redo my rods, being that I don't know the lake at all. I don't know what the bite-in times are, so we've got the best of both worlds really. It might be that a new bait goes out, a bit of fresh bait goes out, and Nick gets a bite, therefore I'll change my rods. But I'm going to leave mine. Nick's going to redo his. And we're going to just basically see what the situation is. I'm probably going to leave mine to around 11. I think a lot of people get up 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, think, well, I don't have nothing through the night. I am going to reel in. I mean, some lakes, what I do is in that morning period, if I haven't had nothing through the night, I might get up and I'll put a couple of spoms over the top, a bit of fresh bait, but I won't reel that rod in. Prime example, Fort Lee, which was last Sunday's video. And again, if you haven't watched that video, guys, go check it out. Absolute killer session with good old T, Mr. 30 himself. But all through the night, nothing. 4 o'clock in the morning, get up, give him 2 spoms. 20 minutes later, boom, absolutely relentless all the way till 12. Fish, just crazy. All fish to sort of mid-20s as well, good fish. And like I said, guys, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. So that's where I'm at the moment. Like I said, quite a nice sleep really. It was broken, but quite a nice sleep. I'm going to sit back now, enjoy my coffee, and hopefully I can see some signs of fish doing something. But so 10:15 at the moment, and again, no fish, but I thought it'd be rude not to sort of go over my baiting approach and what I've been doing since I've been here. So I did bring 2 kilo of bait with me. I've already done a kilo, and this was the OG fish in the 14 mils, as you can see there, which looks something like that. So that's them, and I've been fishing little handfuls of them, and then loads of OG fish chops, and they're lovely because they've got a bit of moisture in them, so you can sort of put in the boat or put them out like that, and that obviously sinks to the bottom, then breaks down. You've got little clumps then. I've also brung the flat spot with me, which I've been putting on. I've done a whole bottle of the OG fish sauce. Great stuff this is, pure liquid food, very stimulating. I've literally been going over and squeezing sections of the bottle on the spot, and that's what done me the bite yesterday. A new product there, which I've been playing around with, a new flat spot coming out soon, but that's all I'm going to say on that one. this is a game changer when doing fish up and down the country. The flat spot with a twist. I wouldn't say even better, but as good as the other one, but very something different. Anyway, I'm saying too much. So yeah, I'm going to continue feeding the chops today. Out there, crumb chops, whatever you want to call it. But I am going to leave the rods another hour. I haven't touched them since last night. I still think there's a chance of a bite this morning. I'm not seeing any signs of anything. I've seen fizzing in the middle area, but sort of sporadic bits. It's not been constantly on one spot or anything, so not enough to move a rod or react to it. But what a beautiful lake. Very, very sort of private up here, and you feel like you're not being sort of watched by people, if you like, so I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I'm going to put this away now. In there. If Lee's watching, he's going to go, bin dipper Ben's out. Oh, there you are. And that's what I had to fish on as well. So when you buy these, you get them in pots, and they normally come in pinks and whites. But I've just put half and half in the pot there, so I've got a bit of both worlds. I actually had them on a 12mm pink, and that was the OG fish. Pop up there with obviously the crumb, and it just seemed to work a dream yesterday. A little single, dropped it with a bait boat on that spot right over where the fish was showing. Spooked the fish as it dropped. I saw 3 fish down there feeding like I mentioned, and that's what I've done the do. So thank you very much, Parker Baits. But back to watching the water come on the carp. This is what my mornings consist of. I've been making loads of combis there for my next session. I won't be using them here, but I'm heading up to Berners Hall Sunday, and like I said, that will be coming to the channel very, very soon. But in front of me is breakfast, or should I probably say brunch. I've got 3 rolls I've cut down there, lovely jubbly, one for myself, one for Nick. It's my turn to cook dinner, so again, thanks to Ricky, I've got a lovely setup in there. Got some eggs, some bacon, some sausages. Nearly done. I'm going to give that a little bit longer. Nick's there dribbling, ready to go. But lovely view, lovely view still. And like I said, I still haven't touched them rods since I mentioned earlier. But what I will probably do is have a little play after breakfast, and then go from there. I will touch on what I had the fish on, like I mentioned. I will touch on that, and obviously I touched on bait earlier, what we've sort of been doing. But hopefully one of them rods goes. It needs to go, it needs to pick up and go, because I've only got till tomorrow morning now, one more night ahead, so fingers crossed. But definitely looking forward to breakfast in there. Happy days. There you go, mate.
What can I say to this? Ladies and gentlemen, the dogs.
No worries, mate. Like I said, the bacon, sausages underneath there. I'm glad I cut the roll that way. It's going to be interesting. It's probably going to drip all over me, but yeah, happy days. There's my breakfast. That'll definitely fill me up. A little bit of ketchup down there as well. Lovely. Right, key in the loop time. I've literally redoubled right hand rod. I got fizzing. We took the deeper out. I cast it over my spot, pulled it back over. There's relentless fizzing on the spot. Where I drop it with a pole, this middle rod. So I'm going to leave that middle rod. Like I said, I've repositioned my right, and in the next hour or so I'm going to redo this left down one. So a short little walk down here without tripping up then is this tree. Now I was having them up there yesterday, but I sort of resulted to this tree. So what I've been doing over the duration of the time I've been here is I've just kept putting the bait in here, that chops, little tiny golf balls, and just spreading them around. I'm going to continue doing that tonight. Fish one rod on here, one rod in the middle, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with the other rods yet. I'm going to play. When I'm fishing the margins, you can see it there clear as day. So I always get a couple of fistfuls and always throw it in the margin, and I can see then if a fish has come in taking it. There's not much bird life here, so I know, and I'd hear the splashing and commotion if it was coots dropping down on it. But as you can see, there's tens of thousands of little minnows there. You can sort of just see them through there. But being that it's OG fruited nut, it's not as dark as the OG fish, so you can see it, it's quite apparent. So again, I can come back every couple of hours, check that, and see if they've been feeding on it or not. But I'm already making too much noise here, so I'm going to leave it. Head back up to the thing. Breakfast was lovely, by the way. Very, very, very nice. Again, make sure I don't trip. Made some more rigs up. Like you say, time to sort of sit back and just see what's going on, really. Nothing nicks end, and there's just nothing out there really. It's sort of we've been playing about the deep over this. I've just not seen not one thing ping. Even when you pull the size of the fish down on the deeper, there was nothing, just nothing going on. But that's not to put it down or anything. We're going to keep positive and hope that them fish move in, because as you guys know, that can happen very, very quickly, and over the duration of an hour you could have half the lake's population down there, and just fingers crossed that is the case. I'll see you in a bit. Wow, talk about seeing fish. Literally after I've put that rod down, one's come right in on the top, and it's quite a good fish, isn't it? I've just flicked some mixers out over to my left, and he's coming up to him now. He's coming up to him now. He's coming up to him now. It's a common. It's a common. He's turned. He's smelt him. He's taking. He's taking. Right, this could change everything. Because if I can get him going taking, then we're laughing. Would you look at that? When he's had one, mate, he's got the OG fish in the flat spots.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, keep taking them.
Let me get some more.
Keep taking them. I'd leave it at that, mate, I would.
Oh, you've put some, yeah.
There's quite a few out there. Off the back. That's unbelievable, mate. It come out of nowhere, didn't it?
That's absolutely come out of nowhere.
Absolutely come out. Oh, it is going for the mixers. It's definitely going for the mixers.
Where's his mates? Yeah, no.
Tell your mates. So nothing really come of it in the end. The mixers, he come up, he took a few. They're certainly not silly up here. But me and Nick, again, like I said earlier, we're keeping positive. We flicked, so this is another clever thing, we've actually flicked the bait out all there in the middle. Being that there's people over there, people to our right. I mean, if you can try and keep that contained, try and pull the fish in. I've done it before, we've all made that mistake. We start flicking the bait, then it drifts and it goes into the swim next door, and you're actually feeding the swim next door. So if you can pull the fish to you, sometimes that gives you an edge. I went on a little wander, and I've seen loads and loads of fish down the end there, loads of them. If only I could get a rod in there, but that's not my water. I think I'd have had numerous fish by now. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We've had some lovely food, and it's been good to catch up with Nick, and we just done some zig bits. Not that we're fishing, you know, but I mean just going over zigs, tying zigs the right way, the importance of doing things in certain ways. And again, guys, if anybody doesn't fish zigs, whether you can fish them here or not, if anybody doesn't fish zig, as a general, wherever you're fishing, I have done some work on zigs, and I think it was a St John's video, and I talk in depth. If you go through the channel, have a little binge watch, and you'll see on there exactly how to tie zigs. I'm a big fan of black foam, or foam as a general. Fishing little maggots on the top is just a game-changing method. If you're not having them on the bottom, change the zigs, and sometimes it can completely change absolutely everything about your fishing. So yeah, that's where we're at, that's what we're doing. Don't even know what the time is, to be honest, but I don't care. See ya in a little bit. Oh, another thing as well, I like the AstroTurf. The AstroTurf, you're probably thinking, could you fancy this? Ain't ours, this ain't mine and Nick's. That was already here when we turned up, and to be fair, one, it stops all the grit getting in your reels and your real bits, and it sort of just makes everything look a little bit neater. So yeah, really nice. Oh, and this, the mulch bottom as well, and the pegs went in really easy as well. The only thing I would say with this one, guys, from disabled access, there is some swims right down the other end, but I mean swims like this I would probably stay away from that point of view. If you are coming down, if you're in a wheelchair or anything like that, it's not the best place to get across. But again, like I mentioned, I'm not writing it off. It is disabled friendly, because if you go right down the end where the car park is, you come in and there's some pegs right down the end, and it's quite flat down there as well. So heads up if anybody's coming down. So there it is. Right, so Nick just helped me get that rod out. You saw where that was. I was going to cast it. He said, you just take it out in the boat. So to stop any unnecessary disturbance, we just dropped it with the boat, you know, be a bit easier. So I'm going to put that rod on the pod in a second. It's going to be right hand rod, left down one. You saw me drop just down there up against that tree. And I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with my middle rod yet, because it's set up with different bits on over the back there. So yeah, time to get this rod sorted. And what a bit of kit that is. 200 quid, mate, did you say that bait boat was? £200. If people want to see a video on this, get in the comments down below, and I'm sure that's a video that me and Nick could do. A budget bait boat, because let's be real, it is a budget bait boat, but it does the job. Why is that as good as a £4 bait boat? Again, we could answer that question for close water scenarios, intimate waters. Get at us and we can go from there. Right, so very quickly, this is the rig. It's micro barbs only here, so I'm literally, that's what I had to fish on yesterday. It kind of sits kind of like that, beautiful. As soon as it's sucked in, it's game over. That's in the bottom lip. A cut down pink kicker there, half of putty on the actual swivel there, but making sure I don't get it on the ring, so there's plenty of movement. Tiny little bit there. All I've done is basically pulled it, put the putty on the fused end and then pulled it off again. It leaves residue, and that's what that is. Moving along, so 9-inch boom there with sort of a transparent with flecking kicker. It's an ESP one, that, and then literally I'll put that into a quick changer on the end and done. Very simple stuff. That's going to go out in the middle rod, I've decided, because I've had a fish on it, and two, I feel they're definitely going through them, filtering through them little bits, and that was quite apparent on that first day when I saw them filtering. They were loving them chops over there, so in my head, if I can fish chops with this, they drop down. I'm also boosting it up with this stuff as well, which I've been doing, if I can't lie to you, although it's the fish pop-ups, putting the bait spray on. I've been putting the bait spray on basically everything, to be honest with you, zigs, whatever it is. So yeah, there you go, happy days. Right, let's get this one out. I'm not going to record that, guys, but yeah, that's the middle rod. Gosh, that is the rod set, and happy with them. Physically can't do much more. I think Nick's putting out his last rods now. Got my beanie on, my Parker Baits beanie. I haven't been wearing this bad boy in about, I don't know, 3 months now. I've been wearing the new cats, but I tell you what, it does feel good to get a beanie on. Anybody who watches the channel knows I live in beanies from sort of November onward. I just don't take them off too late March. So living them, sleeping them, everything about beanies. It's just the one. But anyway, rods are out. I'm happy. I can only do so much, and apologies, it's not been absolutely jam-packed full of information. Tips, etc., whatever you want to say, guys, on this one. It is one of them lakes that I've been on before, very similar to the recent one I've done, maybe like Sitch with Kev, very similar to this. It's one of them lakes, you put your rod out, you leave them, you know, you keep casting, you're just going to spook them out of the area, because there's so many islands, so many places where they can just go away from the palaver or problems or leads hitting the deck, and that is what they will do, move straight out the zone. So hence why I've been sort of using the boat. I'm not a massive fan of boats. Again, anybody who watches the channel will know that I'm not a massive fan of boats. Although Kev's kindly, again, the reason I bring up Kev as well, Kevin Bone, massively good friend of mine, been a Parker Baits customer from day dot, and also a new Parker Baits ambassador to our team, absolute top class angler. He's actually lending me his bait boat for burners. Again, why? So main thing for me is so I can find some spots out there, even if I use it just a result as finding spots and dropping things at extreme range. That is another thing up there. So, and then last time it gave us an edge. Me and T took the boat out, we had 4 runs in an hour, and we had nothing for 2 days. Used that boat, we had the runs, we knew where they were, but we physically can't hit them with the castings. They were well out of range and sort of maybe just outside our water, but the particular people that were fishing at the time weren't fishing that water, so we sort of dropped them on there and we had fish straight away. So anyway, I'm going off subject, I'm talking about a different lake, but rods are out. I'm happy, and I'll probably touch base with you now when we go to the foodie bits later on. Moroccan curry or something Nick's conjured up, so I'm a little bit scared, if I'm honest. He gave me some burn your bum sauce last night. It was nice, it was hot, I'll give him that, it was very hot, and definitely warmed up the belly, to say the least, and my lips were on fire after, but no, it was very nice, and that pizza was very nice, so I am looking forward to that. I'm getting a little bit hungry, to be honest, but it's going to be a nice evening. And Corey's actually coming down, Mr. Longcast, and he is jumping in my swim tomorrow. We've got one more night. I'm not going to be staying on. I've got loads of stuff to do tomorrow, loads of prep to do. I've got a festival in the afternoon with the other half. I've got bait I need to cook in the morning in regards to particle. I've got loads and loads of bits to do in the morning, since I'm going to be off crack of dawn, and it's going to be a quick sort of exit. Hopefully I can nick some fish in the night, but you may see Corey, you may not in the morning, but he is the one jumping in the swim. So there it is. I'll touch base with you when we do the foodie bits very soon. The hell are they, mate?
Figs.
Oh, figs, yeah, nice. Not seen them like that before. There you are, fig. Something a little bit different.
Right, so what we do now, we need some water.
Bit of water.
We sprinkle these.
I'll get some.
Right, set up that tray. Or that one there. That one there. And then what you do, sprinkle these with water. So get your breads out. Just put water over them like that.
Oh yeah, pishwari.
Yeah, do that.
Bit of water.
Yep.
Bit of water. There we are. Bit of water. Just dunk the whole little fella in there, really.
Right, so use that one actually. That's a key one.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Use that one. Smell that.
God, it smells hot. Let me show the camera.
Right, sorry, yeah.
Look at this, mate. And it smells hot. It smells very hot. Look at the state of these mum chilies in there, mate. So what you got in there then, bruv?
We've got pomegranates, we have got blackberry, we have got chicken, and you have got rice, which should be couscous because it's Moroccan.
Lovely.
It's been done into tagine.
Right,
it's
nice.
got Moroccan spices and just a tad of chilli.
Look at that, just a tad of chilli. I don't believe that for a second, Nick, but yeah. Yeah, no, it looks absolutely lovely. And plan of action is now we're going to have these nums, what they pishwari with, like
pishwari nums, simple small pishwari mums. You do it at home first, and then just put water on them. Turn them
You've
over.
cooked these already, right? Yeah.
These are pre-cooked,
semi-cooked,
and then what we're doing, we're cooking them properly now with a bit of water.
Happy days.
And then we'll have those with the with this. So what you do is that you add, you eat some of the bread, you put some of this in your thing and heat it up, and then what you do, you eat what you need.
Okay.
And then what you do, whilst you're eating it in between, because there's fruit in it, you take a bite of these, and that goes.
You're hearing this? So it's like, we're going to eat this, we're going to do it like this. You've really thought about this, mate, haven't you? How long is this taking you to conjure? I reckon he's been on this, he's been conjuring this up for a while. So as we're going to eat it, we're going to eat some figs. And
whilst you eat it?
Whilst we eat it, with a plum as well. So that's going to be very, very interesting. He says you can put in bits as you like, but I know that whole pot's going to be absolutely smashed between the two of us, I'm sure.
No, there's two pots. There's yours.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
There's two pots.
Okay, we're going to be very full rhinoceros by the end of this.
You eat as much as you want.
Nah,
that's
lovely,
the whole point.
Lovely, mate. Absolutely lovely. Sounds lovely.
So it's like Bedouin food, and what you do is you cook and eat as.
Little bit of chilli. It's burning my nose. I can smell the chilli in there. Little bit of chilli.
There's only a little bit of chilli in there.
Yeah, all right,
good
mate.
For you. Good for you.
So we put half on, and the concept behind this is you only eat little bits, which is something different because I'm just a nosser pig and I just eat everything in front of me. So I'm sure that will still be the case, mine. But I'm cooking that through now, and like I said, we're going to tuck into these delights as it cooks. he's got his fig. Oh.
Can't beat a pig.
Lovely, mate. Honestly, I don't think I've had him like that,
mate. Now take a bite of that.
There it goes. That was nice. Different. There you go. You've opened me up to some whole new things this trip, Nick. Got my
shovel.
Wow, it's been a lovely evening here with Nick. It really has. But, although it looks really light in the camera, it's really starting to get dark. It's gone 8 o'clock. that same old view again. I wish I could say I'm really confident, but I'm not 100%, to be honest with you, because I know where the fish are. But I can sit, hope and pray. We have seen a fish show underneath this tree here probably about 15 minutes ago. Well, that is one heck of a sign, because that's the biggest show we've seen. I know, although we've seen fish, but show this time of night in the area is a good sign. So Nick has got a rod over there. He's got one over here, and one sort of over here. So we've got all bases covered. All we can do is sit and hope now. I may touch base with you before bed, but if I don't, hopefully you see me with a fish, and if not, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. And that's the fish behind me in the little lake. Wow, I've just opened the eyes. My alarm didn't even go off on my middle rod. Crying. Middle rod absolutely peeled off. So I'm going to really concentrate now, because as you guys know, I'm off this morning. Now try and get this in. Happy days. Sorry, I'm half asleep, but I've got a good one in the net. It's a late 20, maybe even a 30, but I do not care. Middle rod, dropped the pole on a little pinky. Out of all the rods, I thought I'd change with the hook baits, and it was a little pinky that's gone. Yes! So you can just chill now for a little bit, because I'm a little bit, my head's, everything's running at 500 miles per hour, including Nick. We had a right old moment there, had a good argument there. It was just mega, absolutely mega. So and my God, did it put up a stink. Nick, the whole way through it, what do you think? Is it, I honestly don't know. And it come up in front of me. It didn't look that big to begin with, and then obviously got the head. Had a look in the net, but anyway, I don't want to ruin it, because I want to show you very soon. I'll see you in a bit. Blown away, so it's like a 39 or smidgen over 40. But for my first time there, I do not grumble. What a fish. Thank you to Parker Baits, and like I said, that was on our little pink 12 mils with a big bed of chopped fruit in that crumb, and with a handful of OG fish 14 mils over the top, and this is a result. So there it is, that's the other side. This was beautiful. What a comment, what a nosipeg. Get in there. Wow, what a pleasant way to end this video. I appreciate the help there of Corey behind the camera. Now he gave me a hand with a few bits. He literally was at the gate. We had the fish. It was all timed perfectly. You couldn't have timed it better. Absolutely brilliant. Obviously, thanks to Nick as well for giving a hand. We all got involved. It was quite a nice moment. And in the end, the fish was 38-14, so not quite the 40 barrier. But again, when they look like that, you don't really, you can't really grumble. And it was like quite a long fish. So it was quite hard to get pictures. I've been in that scenario before with other people trying to get pictures, and it is hard. The whole way through it, Corey's like, this is hard to get a good shot of it because of the shape of the fish. But yeah, no, what a moment, what a moment. And like I said, the Parker Baits definitely not letting me down this session. And thank you very much to the lake with no name. So I know it's not been the longest video in the world, guys, but literally I've got one rod feeling sorry for itself over there to my left, and I'm going to reel that in a second. All my other stuff's packed down, and then I am going to do the journey home for a busy day ahead of me. So that sort of brings this video to a close, really. Thanks for everybody that's helped over the duration of the last couple of days and what have you. Obviously Nick and Corey just then, and I'm just struggling to get my words out, to be honest, because it's a good fish. It's one of the biggest fish, or the biggest fish I've had this year. So I'm happy with that, really, because I've had a shocker of a year. Maybe this is the start of something. Come on, burners.
tomorrow. I head up there tomorrow, so come on Berners tomorrow. And like I said, that is this video ending, guys. So I hope you like this video. If you have, make sure you comment down below, click on that thumbs up button to help me and my brother grow our YouTube channel, and I'll see you same time next Sunday, 7:30. All the best. Peace out.